In the previous part, we reviewed the tips related to infographic resume design, and according to the tips in the previous part, I specified the color palette for infographic resume design in this section. I also suggest you, before designing your infographic resume in PowerPoint, be sure to consider a color palette like this sheet and continue your infographic resume design from 0 to 100 with this color palette, because in this way you can design a much more attractive resume. From here on, the training is completely project-oriented, and I will try to design an infographic resume in PowerPoint with you 0 to 100 and move forward together. In order not to lose time, I have already typed the text that I want to use in the design of this resume. But if I want to give a brief explanation about the project that we want to do together in this section, I can tell you that the infographic resume that we designed together in this section does not have any animation or transition and is completely static, and you can get a PDF output at the end and publish it on your social networks or websites, or you can even print it and take it with you to the interview session and hand it over to your employer. Well, let's start our infographic resume. I will create a new document in PowerPoint and change the layout value to blank. The first thing we need to set is the size of our infographic resume. What I want in this project is for my resume to have an A4 size. Therefore, we select the custom slide size option from the design and the slide size section and enter the exact height and width of an A4 sheet in the width and height section. I set width 21 and height 29.7 centimeters. And I do OK. I click the maximize option so that the size of my slide becomes an A4 sheet, and now we can easily start our design work. One point before I want to start the design, let me tell you that when you want to design a resume in PowerPoint, you have to zoom in and zoom out on your document, which you can do with the help of the options in this section, and that is you can zoom in and zoom out with the help of this option. You can also hold the Control key on the keyboard and then zoom in and zoom out with the mouse ruler, and you can do this in any way you are comfortable. And then for if you want to bring the design page to full screen mode, click on this option twice so that your slide will be fit and full screen. The next point is that we use the PowerPoint shapes in the Insert tab a lot to design our infographic resume. I first select a rectangle shape and place it as the head of my resume here. I set the outline value to no, and to set the shape fill value, I need the color palette I made. I'm going back to the previous PowerPoint document and I transfer this color palette that I have already prepared to my design document. I will place it on the outside of the slide and make it smaller. Now I will select this rectangular shape and I placed as the resume header. From the shape format and shape fill section, I will select this pink color for it using the eyedropper option. Now I select another shape from the insert section and put it on the left of my resume. In this section, we want to write some general information about ourselves. I set the height and width of this shape, and then I want this shape to be placed under the header shape. So right click on it and select send to back and make sure that the outline value is set to no. I change the shape fill value to this navy color with the help of the eyedropper, and now we can also align these shapes. I choose this shape, and with the help of the align top option, I set my shape to be exactly on the top of the slide. And we select the second shape, and with the help of the align top and align left option, we make sure that our shape is placed exactly on the top and left side of the slide. Now I want to place a text box here from the insert and text box section and type my name here. I select the text and make its color white. I make it bold a bit and increase the size a bit. And here I select a special font. For example, Word can be a good font and it is readable. Now I want to put my photo here, and to put a photo in PowerPoint, it's enough in the Insert tab and Pictures section, click on this device, and I will select my photo and I will reduce the size of the photo by holding the Shift key. And then what I want to do is that I want to have my photo in a circle format. In the picture format section, first in the crop section, I'm going to click the aspect ratio to make sure that my picture is in 1:1 ratio here. Then I select the picture again from the crop section, crop to shape, and then select the shape of the circle so that my photo is cut in a circle format. Now we can choose the picture border, and we can even give color to the photo border. We choose it using the eyedropper option. For example, I choose a yellow color for my photo, and I also give a size from the weight section to the border and make my photo smaller and place it above here. I can even make my text a little smaller so that my photo is placed in the middle of our two shapes. These things are completely tasteful. I'm doing this to show you a solution. Now you can change these settings according to your taste and needs. Now I want to put a text box here again and write a brief description of myself here. I already typed the text that I wanted to be placed here in this document. I will copy this quickly. I insert the text box in the new document and paste my text here. And now I want the settings that I gave to this text to be applied to this text. I can select this text, click on Format Painter, and then double click on this text. The settings of this text are transferred to this text exactly, and now I click on Format Painter again to disable it. There is another way to keep the settings of the text boxes, is to right click on our text box and select Set as Default Text Box. By doing this, if you select another text box from the Insert tab, it will have the same settings as the previous text box. Well, I will reduce the size of the text box a bit so that I can put other text, and now I can separate this part from the next part. I can choose a double bracket from the Insert and Shape sections, and now I can change the outline to this yellow color. I give a weight of 3 points, and now to properly adjust the shape, we need to zoom in on this part. I hold the Control key and zoom on this part of the design with the mouse wheel, and then I try to adjust this shape and the text. And with the help of the yellow circle here, you can increase or decrease the curvature of this shape. Then you can even reduce the height of this shape. Well, so far in my project, now I can make a copy of this shape and text box. I select both parts and press Ctrl+D on the keyboard to make a copy of the text and this shape. And then I adjust here. Now the next part that I want to add to the resume can be personal information such as my date of birth, contact number, and email, which I have already written here. I will copy and paste it into the new document in this part. Even we can use the same icon here for different sections. For example, you can download the birthday icon from flaticon.com. I can type the word birthday here to give me an icon related to the year of birth. According to the background that I have here, it's better to choose an icon that is white so that it can be seen here well. And now among the icons that exist here, for example, this icon or it can be this icon, I will choose this icon and click the edit icon, then click choose a new color in this section. You can change the color of the icon. I change the color of the icon to white, right, and then from the PNG download section I click 512. Now to insert the icon we can click insert pictures and this device and select the icon that we just downloaded and enter it into the PowerPoint slide. Make them a little smaller and hold the shift key so that the ratios do not change, and we can put it like this in the center of our work. I zoom in a little again in this section and make the settings related to the shape and text of this section. So now the next text that we want to put here can be our contact number or email. I select both texts and insert them into the slide. Now, for example, I want to put my phone number here, so I will take a copy of this shape that we made here, and again let's put an icon here from the insert pictures, this device, and the icon related to the mobile phone, which is white. I downloaded it and I can put it in its place, and now I use the text phone number and select it. Make it white and place it in the appropriate place and zoom in on the document, and I do text and shape settings. And again we take a copy of the same shape and place the next part, which is the email here. I select the text again and make it white, and for this part we can use an icon again and insert tab, pictures, and this device, and I will put the icon related to the email that I have already downloaded here. Again by holding the Ctrl key and the mouse wheel I zoom in on this section so that I can make more settings. Well friends, now in this section that remains empty, we can enter a QR code, and inside the QR code we can make settings related to the website and social networks, and I do things with help of QR code generator.com. I put the addresses of my social networks in this QR code because we can't put too much information in the resume, so it can be the best solution to show more of your portfolios, or in fact the addresses of the social network websites can be using a QR code, and I have already done this work, which is the continuation of this work, and I can re-enter this into the PowerPoint software and put it in my resume. And by scanning this QR code, the employer can have more information about me. He can see my portfolios and my social networks can be accessed. So I will also put a QR code here at the bottom of this part of my resume, and it's easy to obtain this QR code with the help of the QR code generator.com site. When you enter the site, you register on this site. It asks you for an email address, and you enter your email account, verify and register on the website easily, which is not a difficult task. Then click the create QR code option, and then it asks you for some information. Now you can put your social media address in this section. I choose social media as an example. Then it asks me the QR code that we want to generate for you, and what do you want to use it for. For example, I choose the artist option, and then after clicking the next option you can make more settings for your QR code. Then in this section you can choose music. It has placed music here by default, and now you can use the change music option. You can even change the music when the employer scans the QR code, and music will be played for him or her, and you can change the QR code color settings here. What color your QR code should be, or even if you have a logo, you can put your logo in this section, and you can put more information here. For example, what do you want to write here for the title? You can put your website address here, and then in that next step it will ask you for your social network address. You can put the link in the next part, and at the end it will give you a QR code with a PNG format that you can put in your resume. So friends, we have added our names, a photo, and some general information about ourselves to our resume. In other parts, we will add additional information to our resume. Try to practice with me in this tutorial so that we can design attractive resumes with each other's help.